Welcome everybody for the second public seminar of the Spring 2023 Columbia Global Collaboratory, Plastics Retelling the Story of Waste. It's a collaboratory, a seminar that brings in scientists, policymakers, and innovators on the important global issue of plastic waste management. Today's seminar will feature changemakers who have been working on innovative solutions for packaging, delivery, new ways of recycling, with a strong ecosystems approach that integrates social and economic dimensions of waste management. Their organizations have successfully demonstrated the efficacy of these solutions for reducing the plastic footprint.
So Banyan Nation has, in some sense, redefined the recycling industry as we know it in India today, right? And we've compelled brands like Unilever to use more recycled content in their packaging. You have itinerant collectors or rag pickers, as they're typically known. This could be domestic helpers, security guards, who basically, retrieve all the recyclables from your waste if you live in a community. And they go ahead and sell it to small scale, kiosks or recyclers that sit on every street corner, who then sell it to aggregators or segregators who, segregate it by material. And then, this goes on to be recycled in a very rudimentary way. There's a lot of cross resin and product contamination that happens because there's injection grade, low grade, extrusion grade, tube grade, all kinds of products mixed into one basket. And, it's impossible to recycle when you have everything mixed up like that. At the other end, you have small scale recyclers like the ones you see in the picture that just mix everything up together and grind it and make some sort of a recyclate. The problem with that is that it's highly contaminated in nature, and it also ends up contaminating the environment more because of the lack of good practices, good manufacturing practices used by such recyclers. We solved this problem in two ways. One, from the supply chain side, the supply chain that I just showed you, which is very fragmented in nature. And two, from the technology side, which is where we optimized already existing recycling technologies to work for a country like India. We went a level deeper and started mapping, what kind of plastics they were collecting, and by category of the usage, and also how often they were collecting, what prices they were able to sell at, and so on, right? We also do, a lot of training and input control because, in recycling, it's very important that the feedstock is very well segregated. So we, create material like this in several local languages, and we train, the suppliers to segregate not just by, the resin type, but also by the usage type, so that we can, turn these materials into a circular economy and minimize the risk of cross-contamination of feedstock. Remove any and all contaminants from plastics such that they can be, used in primary applications like packaging that are, basically where a human is in contact with the application, right? So which means we can't have heavy metal contamination or any of the EU REACH banned substances in the plastic. So we do a lot of feedstock control, and at the other end, a lot of testing to ensure that, the plastics we manufacture are safe for human contact. And we've been able to essentially close the loop on a lot of this packaging. So the bottles you see over there are the largest brand that has basically exhibited that this can be done. And today, every bottle of this brand is made from our recycled plastics. how you define yourself is built into the DNA of the company, right? So, I mean, there are some companies that were purely built for, making profits, increasing shareholder value. We're unfortunately not one of those companies by DNA. We basically started with, trying to solve a problem. The reason we were named Banyan Nation is because in India, traditionally, problems were solved under a banyan tree with the help of the community. And we see ourselves as a problem solver in a country where there's 1 million people that rely on plastics collection for their livelihood. You have to think of solutions that won't basically undo the work that they do and completely change the way they make money.
Pakka stands for packaging with a soul. We have a singular dream within our organization, and this is what we talk about each time we meet and each time we interact, each time we think. And that is a singular idea of a cleaner planet. Our vehicle for that is, of course, compostable packaging. And this comes from this idea that it is an unprecedented challenge for humanity. The biggest culprit is packaging. And within that, you would see almost 76%. It's kind of a lot of dense data here, but if you see about 8.3 billion tons of plastics created a year, 5.8 of that, 5.8 billion is only single-use plastic. The term single-use plastic basically means on average a product is used about 12 minutes, so say 12 to 15 minutes, which basically means that, the kind of convenience it offers is like taking a bag from a grocer to your home, opening up a pack of potato chips. Of course, there's a lot of shelf life there, eating it, consuming it, taking a plate of styrofoam, putting food in it, consuming it, and then that's it. The basic form of plastic takes almost 500 years to disintegrate. Our whole objective is this, and it's important to understand the term regenerative, because what we feel is that nothing packages like nature. In the end, everything is a food for something else, so it becomes regenerative. It's not just dying in vain. So that's really important, the term regenerative for us. And the second term that's really, really important is scale, because we can make a lot of social media noise, create a lot of drama, but the real impact will again come when we are able to do it at scale. And that's the real quest we are on. And that basically comes from this singular idea: how do we build global leadership towards this idea of innovation, creation, and propagation of solutions. And we've focused on the singular domain of food packaging, carry, and service, because again, that's the largest area that is actually impacted through the materials currently being used for our convenience. So these are the three broad areas we dabble in. These are mostly patented solutions that we have. All our products are just now based on sugarcane based. So that's what we use. We create pulp from it, and two major products, which is molded food service ware and specialized paper. Specialized paper is like your grease-proof or butter paper. We take that and we coat it with different substances to create a flexible pack. We also get some waste in the process called lime sludge, which we combine with different bioplastics and create mineral pellets for carry solutions and cutlery solutions and various others. So it's a pretty circular technology. This is the broad idea. Look at India to service the South Asian and the Middle Eastern markets. Look at Central America to service the Northern American market. Look at North Africa. Again, we've already identified a couple of sites to look at the European market, and then Philippines or Vietnam to cover the Australasian market. Innovation is our lifeblood. That's what we focus. I personally focus a lot of time on. And on the left, you'll see these amazing sort of creatures that inspire us. You'll see a pomegranate, which is something that actually it's literally, it's even in front of me. This is a painting that I have in front of me because, it's such an inspiration. Look at the packaging that nature creates. It's not just the beautiful membranes within it that protect these beautiful, delicate seeds. It's the structure of the outside walls, the ridges. It's just so like mind-blowingly engineered. You look at a water spider, it lives under the water and it creates this bubble of a water web which breathes. It can still take a bubble of oxygen, put it in and breathe inside, and it can also procreate, eat within that web, which is something that's truly inspiring for us because nature's building blocks are very, very simple. It's proteins and sugars, amino acids, and hydroxyl chains, and then it combines it with a very narrow piece of the periodic table and as well as some minerals, but that's it. And you'd see mycelium, which is another crazy inspiration. We as a company definitely hope so, So I feel it will be a bunch of solutions. Some of us will be more conscious and we'll carry our own thing. Some of us will have the possibility of composting at home. We will need a composting infrastructure otherwise. Then you need a market for compost. You have to stop putting fertilizers and NPKs on your land. That's another issue altogether. So it's a whole cycle, but I do feel that there's change happening. And of course, we are fortunate to be a small part of that change.
We're so thankful to the panelists and our partnership with Columbia Global Center Mumbai, because I think the more we pay attention, to how plastic is all around us and the small steps that we can take individually and as a community, but also to motivate our government and our representatives. I think it's on many, like Rashi, you were saying, it's a systems issue, and that we can tackle it with ourselves beginning there, but then also looking at the systems and how we can approach it from many different angles. It's a complex problem, as you've demonstrated, you've explained to us today, but how inspiring to know that both of you and your companies are tackling it.